Brownies from a box that everyone swears are homemade? Believe it or not, I found the one mix that pulls off this magic trick, and for just $1.47, outshining brands that cost 5 times as much. Last month, I brought brownies to my book club. Nothing fancy, just simple squares on a charming vintage plate I'd snagged from Goodwill. I dusted them with powdered sugar because I ran out of time to whip up ganache. Within minutes, 3 friends begged me for the recipe. "Is this Ina Garten's?" Sarah asked as she licked chocolate from her thumb. "No, wait, it must be Alice Medrich's." I smiled, changed the subject because the truth was way less glamorous. These brownies came straight from a $1.47 box from Walmart. But here's where it gets controversial. I actually tested 9 different boxed brownie mixes over 2 weeks, turning my kitchen into a chocolate-scented lab and my neighbors into brave taste test subjects. I was hunting for that elusive mix that can genuinely fool people into thinking it was homemade. The results shattered my assumptions about which brands deliver true quality. Let me walk you through my process, or as I call it, the science of brownie tasting. It began with a text from my sister, who bragged about brownies she made for a bake sale. The caption? Duncan Hines plus prayer. The brownies looked perfect, the shiny, crackly top that shatters on cutting. Edges pulling away just right. Nobody doubted they were homemade. Yet that bothered me more than it should have. So I went on the mission, buying every brownie mix I could spot, from household names like Betty Crocker, Pillsbury, and Duncan Hines, to premium options like Ghirardelli and Trader Joe's, plus those overlooked budget brands we usually skip. Each mix was prepared exactly as the box instructed, baked in the same size pans at the recommended temperatures. I recruited unsuspecting friends, who now dodge my quick question about dessert texts, to taste and critique, jotting down notes like a wine expert. Hints of cocoa, slight artificial vanilla, texture reminiscent of Play-Doh. And then came the surprise star, Great Value Fudge Brownies, Walmart's own label, costing just $1.47. Its plain packaging might make it easy to overlook. Yet these brownies tick every homemade box. A rich, but not overly sweet, chocolate flavor. An ideal balance between fudgy and chewy, plus that shiny, crackly top that resembles aerial views of cracked earth. Rich without being heavy, deeply chocolatey, but never bitter. These brownies even leave a bit of chocolate essence on your fingers that you find irresistible to lick. Taste testers described them as luxurious, chewy, and even expensive. One friend thought they had to be from a pricey box. This 18.3-ounce package yields about 16 brownies from a standard 8x8 pan. On the flip side, the Trader Joe's Brownie Truffle Mix, $3.99, was divisive. A cult classic for more than 25 years. It features Dutch cocoa and chocolate chips that produce a brownie with a bold, almost espresso-like intensity. It's unapologetically dark and slightly bitter. A hit with wine and cheese lovers who admired its complexity, but less popular with kids, and those who prefer milder sweets. It yields a smaller batch, nicely fitting one 8x8 pan, but not enough for a 9x13. For dependable crowd pleasers, Duncan Hines' Chewy Fudge Brownie Mix, $1.72, can't be beaten. Think of it as the reliable old friend, never flashy, but always delivering precisely what you expect. It sports the familiar tissue paper thin crust on top, reminiscent of childhood birthday parties. It's safe, but far from dull, and its 18.2-ounce box makes 20 squares in a 9x13 pan. After all this experimentation, I uncovered the real secret to making boxed brownies taste homemade. It's less about the mix, more about how you treat it. Swap the vegetable oil for melted butter or vegan butter like Miyoko's at the same quantity. Let it cool slightly before mixing. This adds a richness oil can't match. Stir in a tablespoon of instant espresso powder into the dry mix, not to make coffee-flavored brownies, but to amplify the chocolate notes like turning up bass on a sound system. Add an extra egg yolk beyond what's called for that dense, fudgy texture. Vegan cooks can substitute with a tablespoon of ground flaxseed mixed with 3 tablespoons water. Let gel for 5 minutes. Replace water with buttermilk or oat milk brightened with a touch of lemon juice for a vegan option. The acidity intensifies chocolate flavor and adds richness. Underbake by about 2 minutes so the toothpick comes out with moist crumbs, not dry. The brownies continue setting as they cool. Now here's a vegan surprise that blew me away. Some of the best brownies were 100% plant-based. Many Duncan Hines mixes contain no dairy or eggs, but always double-check labels. Using aquafaba, the liquid from canned chickpeas, as an egg substitute, 3 tablespoons per egg, yields brownies with that classic shiny, crackly top and fudgy center. One taster, unaware they were vegan, wondered if I'd used fancy French butter. For the Great Value mix, I swapped egg replacer following package instructions and vegan butter for oil. Result? My vegan friend Amy happily took half the pan home, calling them the best vegan brownies she'd ever tasted. Trader Joe's mix responded well to flax eggs and vegan butter plus oat milk, with the earthiness of flaxseed enhancing the intense chocolate. Even dairy devotees couldn't tell. Important, always check the current ingredients, as recipes can change. Turning vegan-friendly mixes into non-vegan ones overnight. And those prestigious brands we expect to shine? Ghirardelli's Chocolate Supreme surprised me by falling flat. Despite costs of $5 to $6 per box and Luxe Gold packaging, it delivered fudgy but shallow chocolate flavor, which testers described as just fine. When you pay that much, fine feels like a letdown. Betty Crocker, the beloved American baking staple, produced sweet, cakey brownies that didn't offend, but failed to excite, summed up by unanimous meh feedback. Pillsbury? One bite and the interest quickly waned. They're not bad, just forgettable. The kind of brownie you eat once and don't remember. So what's the takeaway from this deep dive? We've been paying premium prices and turning up our noses at inexpensive brands, when really we've been snobs about all the wrong things. That Great Value mix, costing less than a birthday card, beat out mixes 5 times.